She said that American soccer fans, most of them aren't smart. They don't know the game. They don't understand.
Gio.
That guy gazpacho.
Sports can take a lame gorilla, okay?
Advice, did you know that Arsenal died?
He's got me buzzing.
Up the topies. It's hard to up them anyway.
Boys, it's about time we head into the U.S. men's national team corner. There's a lot to talk about going on in the U.S. men's national team world, and the biggest thing in that is Christian Pulisic will not be a part of the friendlies this summer, will not be a part of the Gold Cup this summer. He joins a list of other players, including Yunus Musa, who's missing for personal reasons, Jedi Robinson, Ricardo Pepi through injury, Josh Sargent. I mean, there's a list. Josh Sargent is due to footballing ability, not anything else. So an interesting statement there by Pochettino. Pochettino also went on to say in his press conference that the people that come into camp and think it's just meeting up with their friends, the family in the U.S., and want to just go play golf and relax shouldn't be there. Christian Pulisic is infamously known for his golfing and his relaxing. Is it potentially a shot at Christian Pulisic? There was a report that came out that he is taking like pain management shots in his hip to keep playing. If that were the case, I'm confused as to why he played in a rubber match, a match that meant absolutely nothing to AC Milan this weekend. It was his 100th cap for AC Milan. But Nick, do you see an issue? Do you see maybe a mentality that's missing for U.S. players that Christian Pulisic isn't saying, fuck it, I'm playing 50 games, give me the summer games, let me play for my nation? Or are you okay with him taking the summer off here?
Not only do I see a mentality issue for U.S. men's national team's player, I see a mentality issue for the supposed captain and leader of this squad that is playing in a calendar year, is going to play in 12 months in a World Cup. For him to skip out on a tournament that, yes, is not the strongest, and if this Gold Cup was 3 years before the World Cup, I'd have less of an issue with it. But in the lead up, when you just got a new manager who's now in his, third window with an actual squad, I think that is absolutely insane for him to be taking this summer off. It is football, brother. It is soccer. This is your job. You can play soccer. And if you're not feeling well, you should still be there with the team, even if you're like coming off the bench. I think it is a complete bullshit coward move by Pulisic. And honestly, I lost respect for him or whoever is in his camp. And either way, if people in his camp are making decisions for him when it comes to U.S. men's national team, I lose respect for him as well. So it is huge. I don't think that Poch was specifically taking shots at Pulisic. And if he is, that's also a stupid move. Why are you alienating your best player with a year left going into the World Cup? So to make that public, if he was talking about Pulisic, I think is stupid. He could have admonished him in private. But regardless of Poch's comments, this is an absolute clown move by Pulisic.
Mike, it's a very weak roster, at least for this training camp that will be going on. A lot of players missing, but the players that are there, Florian Balogun just got back from a pretty major injury. Who are the other players that are just back from injury? I mean, Tyler Adams obviously has had issues with his fitness throughout. Johnny Cardoso has played 50 games as well. Malik Tillman relatively recently back from injury. And of course, Serginho Dest also had the huge injury that kept him out this entire season. If it were about health solely and saying we're worried about the long-term health, want to make sure everybody's put on a little pedestal before the World Cup, why not then? And if Pulisic is truly this hurt that he cannot play this summer, would it not just be smarter for them to come out and say, hey, this is how hurt he is? He truly just can't play? Or is there justification for us? And you're saying, you know what, protect the asset.
I see a bit of a double standard here with the injury thing with the players that you mentioned. the way I guess Poch could justify it is he hasn't had any of those guys in camp. Balogun and Dest primarily wants to see them before crunch time World Cup comes around. So I get that, especially if those are going to be key components of the squad. He wants to have a chance to work with them sooner than later. So that makes sense. But then going back to the injury, I mean, Dest hasn't played much except for the last month, and Balogun's been in and out of the injury room. Fucking Tyler Adams has played a whole damn season for the first time in years after being on the sidelines long term. So that doesn't give me like any credibility towards what Pulisic or other guys are dealing with. I think it is a mentality issue. I think you guys had it right. It would definitely be helpful if someone addressed it just clearly. What the hell is going on? It's never great when there's speculation going on. If it's a coaching decision, so be it. I mean, that would at least give us something to go with. If it's Pulisic and his camp's decision, okay, well, then what the fuck, Pulisic?
And that's bullshit.
It's 100% bullshit because he said time and time again how dedicated he is. He wants to be the captain. He wants to be the main guy. Then, well, you have to show it. And that starts here in the Gold Cup and these friends.
You have to show up at the minimum.
Exactly. You can't show up. Show it if you don't show up. And I mean, he had a high workload this season. But he's playing winger. He's playing in Italy, where there's Tyler Adams
He's
playing.
not going to have European football next season.
In the Premier League, covering more miles than anybody in a game, and he's showing up hungry to play. Johnny Cardoso is going to play in a fucking Conference League final here. He'll be ready to play. Other guys who played just as many games this season, maybe even played in Europe longer, are going to show up ready to play. That kind of excuse doesn't fly.
No, I think it either needs to be that they come out and they say Christian is truly dealing with something that is major. He's been playing through it, and it's going to become really bad if he keeps playing. Have a full explanation, not just say, "Oh, he's just a little tired after playing so many games." That's
not the case. Why is he playing in that AC Milan game? Like you said, why? How is he truly? Why is he? If he's actually injured, AC Milan wouldn't risk a valuable player for a throwaway game
while in contract negotiation.
Right,
they're not going to throw him into something that he's injured or he's barely able to get through. He's playing the full games. He's doing just fine. He's starting every single one. I think it Nick, tell me if I'm going too far and I'm just getting a little biased against what we've seen in the past with the U.S. men's national team. But I think it's just a factor more of the overall issue with U.S. soccer is that we think that there has been anything that these players have fucking done on the national stage when they have done jack shit. You have won a Nations League against CONCACAF when it's a semifinal and then a final, and you won that 3 times and then lost it with Pochettino. You have won tournament before the World Cup at home, and you're not going to get any type of chemistry with a lot of these starters. So many players, including Pulisic, are out. Some of them more understandable than others have actual long-term injuries. But how is this team going to expect to ever get any shit accomplished if they take everything as we don't really need to play this. It's not that important. Every game should be fucking important if it's the national team because you're gaining chemistry, you're gaining playing time, and you should want to play for your fucking country. And it's obvious that a lot of these players really don't give a fuck about it. They're more focused on the club. And that's the difference with all these teams that do so well internationally is they'll die for their fucking country. That's what they're more concerned about. Doesn't feel like that from just about anyone on this team other than maybe Tyler Adams.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, and at this point, what can we really say about? I mean, dudes, we call him a dog every single day on this pod whenever we talk about him, but it hasn't been the same. We can't argue that. Listen, the number one thing that all three of us have had huge complaints about the USMNT is their absolute bullshit, false sense of entitlement that this generation has had. That they, are the cream of the crop, that they belong in the biggest stages, and that they'll be able to show up just like that. And without really ever showing any of the want to, the Clinton Dempsey-led teams that we fell in love with growing up watching this team. And so And now to know that criticism is out there, to probably feel it internalize at least a little bit, and then to have your leader opt out is just crazy with this bullshit NBA, load management crap. I mean, it's really symbolic of what this US men national team, what is the issue with the entire federation? It's not the team, it's not the media, it's all of it. It's all of it together. And to see it from your leader, from arguably one of the most talented players that have ever played for a US jersey, it's just really, really tough to see. No other way to say it.
I honestly do not care if he would have sat out every single match other
Seriously,
than
yeah, show
like
up.
the knockouts or semifinal and final or just the final or anything like that. Be in the camp, be around the team, and be training with them. You don't need to. Yeah, I'm not saying you need to risk Pulisic against the worst team in your group stage in the Gold Cup, but he should be there. He should be an option. He should be dying to be playing. Regardless of his situation, of how many games he's played. If he's played 50 games, who the fuck cares? He should be saying, Pochettino, put me out there. You better put me on the fucking roster. We do get some type of positives. We will potentially see Malik Tillman get what will I would say be maybe his last real shot to show himself off here. Diego Luna, Johnny Cardoso, some new players, Damian Downs coming in, Sebastian Berhalter, obviously Serginho Dest coming back, and Alexander Freeman, the right back from Orlando City, that's getting a lot of attention right now overseas. Mike, who are you most excited to see? Obviously, there's a lot of absences. What that does, I guess, is give some opportunity for other players to show off and show that they deserve a spot over the players that are now missing. Who do you think shows out here?
There's no one like super exciting for me. I think Diego Luna being back in there is a good thing. He was one of the few players that showed some grit, some fight in the last couple of camps. And on top of that, some skill. He is a great player, very, very techie, can create a lot. I think him and Malik Tillman, those two players that you said. Tillman because he hasn't done anything yet for us. And he should. He has all the skill. We see it in Europe all the time. Won it with PSV, scored some huge goals. If we could translate that to the national team, it'd be huge. That is a position that no one has locked down. No one's even come close to locking down. If we could get someone who's a confident starter there before the World Cup comes around, that'd be massive.
Yeah. Nick, what position are you looking at the most here for this camp?
Yeah, listen, I don't know. I didn't love the camp initially, if I'm being honest. I think there was like Caleb Wiley being left out. I thought was absolutely asinine. I don't know what we're doing. I thought there were a couple of other omissions as well outside.
Tessman should have been there.
Is he hurt?
He was sent back from his loan to be rehabbed. I'm not sure what his status is, but he hasn't played in a while.
Well, I could be wrong there. But either way, I think the most important, or the thing that I'm going to be locked into the most, I don't know if I'm excited to see them, but I'm definitely the most curious about, is going to be Dest and Ballo. And it's going to be not so much how they perform, but more how does Poch use them? How is he going to like mold his system? How are they going to fit into his system? How is kind of the marriage going to work with two players that you figure, I mean, are going to play a pretty important role in each of their positions in the World Cup? Ballo, I would assume, gets at least 1 or 2 starts in the group stage. And Dest, if he's healthy, should be the guy at right back. So excited to see, not excited. I think excited is the wrong word. I don't feel any sort of excitement with this camp right now, or this team at all. But definitely curious to see how it works. And Poch as well. Poch has also gotten some criticism for being a little lax, for being not passionate enough. So I don't think that's going to change. I'm a little curious to see how he's going to handle it, and if the media turns on him too. How are you feeling about Poch kind of going under fire there, Flags?
I mean, I think it's at a certain point, if you have a price tag of $7 million a year, you kind of have to back it up. And so far, he has not been backing it up, hasn't really switched around that much, hasn't gotten the results that we needed. I will say Serginho Dest, certainly interested to watch him. He was, during the Berhalter age, a massive difference maker in terms of attack, even in that random friendly against, was it Colombia or Mexico? I think it might have been Mexico, but he comes in, creates that goal all by himself with like Jesus Ferreira as his partner in that attack. He is such a big difference maker. I am very excited to see him back with the U.S. men's national team.
He's an X factor.
I think, yeah, I mean, these are against two good teams. Turkey and Switzerland are the two games the U.S. will play, first against Turkey and then against Switzerland. It's not the Panama. It's not the Jamaicas. It's not the CONCACAF teams that you're used to and don't have teams all at the top level. Turkey is a very good team. Switzerland is a very good team. It sucks that this is not going to be the full strength roster because I think they would be very good test to strain that. It sucks that this is more of like a secondary team because it seems like almost a waste of a friendly. Why are we getting such great friendlies? And hats off to USSF for getting these friendlies, but it does not really help that it's not going to be the actual team you would think be out there for the World Cup in 2026. Certainly, we'll still learn quite a bit about this team, and Pochettino has his work cut out for him because, as you say, concerns are mounting about him, and it's kind of put up or shut up. Mike, is that too far to say that it's put up or shut up on a friendly and Gold Cup that he's going to be missing all these players, or is that on him at this point? You're such a big name, you kind of have to show out.
You got to show something. I mean, he put himself in this position, shit the bed in the CONCACAF Nations League, a tournament that we've won previously, never lost, and we lost to fucking Panama doing so. So the whole reason he's brought in is because Greg Berhalter got embarrassed on home soil in a Copa America. So U.S. soccer panics and brings in a big name, try to calm things down, get us going for the World Cup, an opportunity that we can't afford to mess up. And then his first real showing really craps the bed. So, yeah, I mean, nut up or shut up. It's been nut up or shut up. It continues to be so. It will throughout 2025 and then into the World Cup. Can't afford to have any sort of poor showings or bad camps again. I don't think there's necessarily the expectation or should be that we get dominating victories out of both of these games. Turkey and Switzerland are both great teams, and even on our best day, we could lose or get poor results against them. But we need to show positive signs. We need to show fight. We need to show that our rosters are locked in, that Poch has ideas that he wants to try, is able to implement, and that he's not just bringing players into camp willy-nilly for no reason at all, that he has serious ideas of what he wants to use for them. And then the bigger thing will be the Gold Cup. Need to have a deep run and probably get to the final in that tournament to have any sort of confidence coming out of this summer. Mexico's team, from a first look, is stronger than ours, but still no excuse to have a bad showing.
Yeah, have to come out with results and consistent results as well for this U.S. team. That's been kind of the Achilles heels. You have some good performances and then shit the bed another. It needs to be consistently good. And this will certainly be some challenges for that. Boys, any final thoughts here as we close out talking U.S. men's national team against Turkey and Switzerland coming up?
Where can I find Switzerland and Turkey's roster for these games? I wonder if like Çalhanoğlu and some other dudes who are just wrapping their season will be in these rosters.
Probably on their Twitter. But any final thoughts other than where their rosters are?
Nothing for me. I mean, you know, like I said, zero excitement to watch these games, but we'll be watching. So stay tuned and we'll bring
we
you.
will watch.
We'll bring you our.
I have excitement. It's been subdued by the players that are missing, but there is still plenty of excitement for the players that are there. And shout out Quinn Sullivan also getting a shout in this camp here, making his way in there. The brother of the star boy, Kevin Sullivan.
Take that.
Shout out the Arsenal women team, champions of Europe. You'll never sing that.
Spurs are sick of that.
Spurs are singing Europa League. I don't know if you say champion of Europe, but until next time, let us know in the comments what you think of all the drama, the Champions League final, and Mike being a homeowner.
That lease application is gonna be like half a page long. Do you burn?